Hello, basketball fans. Brian Anderson here, courtside with Doris Burke and Grant Hill. Our reporter is Allie LaForce. And so off the tip, it's Oklahoma City. Here's Gilgeous-Alexander. And he buries his first look. And the focus of both of these teams, offense. Doris, it's about putting points on the board in bunches.
BA, it seems to be a league-wide trend in many respects. There's so much conversation about how skilled these players are, the range shooting that you've got to deal with defensively. I think we've got to redefine the definition of good defense because these guys are so good.
I mean, you watch Holiday play this game. He just explodes off the screens. Very good in pick and roll.
Well, defensively, if you allow him to get this close, you're playing with fire. He just happened to miss that one.
It's Dort on the wing. Pass to Caruso. Outside for Gilgeous-Alexander. Down low. Oh, and he blocks it off the glass. Wow.
A swat by Porzingis at wingspan, letting you know he's in the house.
Left side, Tatum. Kick out to Brown. Just 5 to shoot. Inside. The drive by Holiday. And he makes it on the layup.
Yeah, good execution in close. Holiday likes mixing things up and finishing from this area.
And he's made a case for first-team all-defense. Doris, Jaylen Brown, the complete game.
Brian, what you love to see from a great player that's just entering their prime is the pride they take in being well-rounded. Do you want to absorb a big-time defensive assignment? Jaylen Brown wants to do exactly that.
Back to Tatum. Pass to Holiday. From behind the arc. Ooh, he's looking comfortable now. 3 for 3.
With balance and good rhythm, Holiday serves as an effective catch-and-shoot player.
And just under 2.5 minutes elapsed here in the first. Back to Gilgeous-Alexander. And slam dunk by Gilgeous-Alexander.
This guy is such an explosive athlete. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander goes straight to the cup.
Here's Brown. And you look at Jaylen Brown, Grant. Not many wings have the strength he has.
Yeah, Jaylen Brown could dunk over a brick wall. And he could dunk through a brick wall, too. It's just so hard to move him off his path when he's on his way to the rim.
Well, Doris, Chet Holmgren was one of the more highly touted guys coming into the league in a long time.
He was, BA, and he has lived up to the billing. At that size, to be able to shoot the ball, put it on the deck, be a force at the rim defensively. But maybe his best attribute, he is a tough competitor.
And so it's Boston with it, following the bucket by Oklahoma City. Brown with it. Can't hit that one. Great D that time from Holmgren. And so it's Holmgren with it. He brings it up for the Thunder. Trailing by 2. And keeping us updated from the sideline, Allie LaForce.
Hey, Brian, a key concept preached by Celtics head coach Joe Mazzulla and reiterated by Jaylen Brown, who says it's reading the game, realizing fast, but playing slow. We're the more talented team, he said. We have to be the smarter team as well. If we do that, we're going to be tough to beat. Brian?
Well, they certainly have been, Allie. Thanks for that.
Well, 7'3" doesn't need much of a vertical, easy finish for KP.
Pass to Holmgren. And he got the whistle on the way up. So he'll be headed to the line for a pair. You know, after sitting out his first pro year due to a foot injury, Chet Holmgren was well worth the wait, Grant.
Yes, he was. And Chet was actually guarding LeBron during a summer Pro-Am game when he hurt his foot. But Chet was a monster his rookie year, already an elite shot blocker.
No good on the second, so he hits 1 of 2. And the expression, not enough touches to go around. Do the Celtics risk falling into that trap, Doris?
Well, first and foremost, BA, if that's a problem for you, it's a good one to have. I think the key here is with all the weapons available, you have to have some personal sacrifice. And to this point, this team has been willing to do that.
Now, here's Williams. Still without a bucket. Left side, Gilgeous-Alexander. Oklahoma City's got to hurry. They got to get up a shot. And it's Holmgren missing. The Celtics with the lead. Outside, Brown. Pass to Porzingis. Shoots over Holmgren. Porzingis misses.
Listen, we know the mid-range game is in this guy's arsenal, but you wonder, should he have moved it just one pass more?
Back to Holmgren. White with a steal. With 1 on the clock. That shot missing. And still a close game as the first quarter comes to a close. It's the Celtics.
The Celtics, 10.
And some good action in the books as we get back to a game that's been pretty close so far here. And for Boston guys, what jumps out to you stat-wise?
Simply put, they look totally fearless on the defensive end.
Well, very disruptive in that first period. They never allowed the offense to get comfortable.
Boy, I'll tell you, when Holiday shifts gears, he quickly leaves people behind.
Now here's Gilgeous-Alexander. Dort outside. Back to Gilgeous-Alexander. Clock at 4. Dort outside. And that comes off the assist by Gilgeous-Alexander. So Dort's got himself going here. His first points of the game on the deep ball. Here's Holiday. Pass to Brown. Back to Holiday. Late clock. The Celtics got to hurry here. They get the rebound. Kick out to Brown. Goes up again. Dort grabs the miss. It's stolen by Holiday. And the layup is good off the glass. Holiday's got 11. All right, guys, what do you think about the hustle stats for the Celtics?
Well, their hands resulting in plenty of steals in the early going, keeping the opposition there off balance.
And the big finish by Holmgren.
Yeah, the defense making it way too easy for Holmgren. Gotta push him farther out than this.
Here's Holiday. Drives to the hoop. Doris, even as he gets up there in age, Jrue Holiday is still an elite defender.
Brian, it's really remarkable how valuable a piece he is. They call him the Swiss Army knife because he is one of those rare individuals that can guard all 5 positions. He understands schemes. He's willing to mix things up. Jrue Holiday is elite, period.
Hartenstein a screen. Back to Williams. 6 to shoot. Again, Oklahoma City.
Well, you got to be able to shoot fast in the league. So it's nice to see Williams doesn't need a lot of setup time.
And there's a whistle. That'll belong to Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. That'll be a second foul of the game.
Second team foul.
And a little under 2.5 minutes gone by here in the second quarter. Here's Holiday. And Horford powers it home.
How about the playmaking ability of Al Horford? Wonderful at positioning himself and capitalizing.
Pass to Hartenstein. Count it. Good. And the Thunder lead by 1.
You have to have the vision to find the open man. Beautiful pass.
Holiday drives in. Shoots from the block. Now here's Brown. Williams defending. And here's Caruso outside. Hits a 3-pointer. And it's a 4-point Thunder lead.
With the defense trying to protect the interior, he pulls at the arc and drains it.
To the inside. Kick out to Brown. Oh, Jaylen Brown! A strong finish.
Well, this is where the powerful frame and explosive athleticism of Jaylen Brown becomes a problem for the opponent. Nicely done.
And here's Dort to the paint. Horford with a steal. Left side, White. Pass to Tatum. JT to the hole. And slammed it home. And a foul. A chance at another point at the line. It's on Isaiah Hartenstein. Doris, it seems like every year Tatum's name is right atop the MVP ballot.
To me, Brian, it speaks not only to his talent, but also his consistency and the work ethic. The game is important to him. He's versatile. He's clutch. He's everything you want in a star player. What impresses me about Jayson Tatum are his work habits, his commitment in the offseason to adding something else to his arsenal. We know he can play high-level basketball on both ends. The sky is the limit.
There's 53 seconds left in the first half of this game. Hartenstein, no good. The Celtics with the lead. And they've been producing at a high level.
No question. They're in a nice rhythm offensively.
Outside White. Boston again missing.
And I'm surprised that didn't go down. I mean, I'm sure he is too.
Now Williams. Horford pulls it in.
Maybe he rushes that just a little bit, who knows, but he couldn't have gotten a better look than that.
Pass to Tatum. Horford, left side. Tatum with a screen. 1 second left. And so a close game as we wrap up the first half of play. Celtics out in front. They lead by 1. We'll see you after halftime for the beginning of the third quarter. Second half of basketball is upon us, and we may be in for an exciting finish based on how close of a game we've seen so far. All right, Doris, what do you think separates the good teams from the great teams at crunch time?
Boy, I think there's a lot of things, Brian, that separate that. Number one, can you execute on both ends when it's a clutch game? Can you absorb the pressure of a moment, understanding time and score, how to get a quality shot on every possession, how to string together multiple stops? Can you make shots under duress of great defense? There are so many things that differentiate between the good and the championship.
You know, one thing you got to love about Jrue Holiday is he's a true two-way player in this league. He puts in a lot of work to make a big impact on both sides of the floor.
The three from Holmgren. Jaylen Brown with a rebound. And so Brown will bring it up for the Celtics. The lead is 2. Tatum with it. And it's Dort picking him up. Right side, Tatum. Back to Brown. 5 to shoot. Holmgren with the block.
And you can't forget about Holmgren's reach, especially when he's nearby on defense.
Grant, how about the rise of OKC? In just 2 years, transforming from a 24-win team to the top seed.
Incredible, B.A. The Thunder drafted well and gave those picks lots of playing time. Plus, they made some fantastic trades. And of course, don't forget, OKC still has a boatload of picks.
Brown with a screen. To the middle. They set the pick. Down low. Holiday. The shot off that time. Good D by Wallace. Back to Wiggins. Launches a three. Rebound Boston. Outside Porzingis. Operating inside. Porzingis.
Kristaps Porzingis, a tough cover. This guy knows he can make threes. Now you get inside the lane and look out.
Pass to Holmgren. There's a screen by Wiggins. It's Wiggins on the wing. On the wing, Caruso. Beyond the arc. He can't get that one to fall. A tight game here in Oklahoma City. All right, let's check in with Allie LaForce.
Brian, last season, Jason Tatum surpassed 10,000 career points. He said, "It sounds crazy. I always think about when I was a kid growing up with my mom and saying I wanted to be in the NBA. I may have thought I would be one of the best players, but to actually do it is a surreal feeling." Brian, he's being honest.
Yeah, dreams do come true, Allie. Thank you. Pass to Holmgren. Back to Wallace. Here's Holmgren. He's got 5. Now Wallace. From the wing. The rebound by Jason Tatum. Clock keeps going. 3 minutes into the second half now. You know, it's easy to focus on Jason Tatum scoring. But Doris, he's excellent in a number of areas.
Brian, he's a high-level rebounder. He now knows how to keep his teammates involved. He's competitive on the defensive end and willing to absorb a big-time assignment. He has got a complete game.
Inside. Here's Porzingis. And a slam dunk by Porzingis.
In a pick-and-roll game, the length and athleticism of Kristaps Porzingis is going to be a big-time problem.
Dort for 3. The Thunder with another miss.
And you never want to give a shooter like him a clean look.
We've got 1:13 left in the third quarter of the game. Oh, swiped away. To the paint. To win the drought. And he bangs it home with one hand.
Got to give him credit for jumping on the ball and making the most at the other end.
Boy, inexcusable at this point of the game. They got to be more composed in these moments.
Boy, in a tight game like this, that can change the whole tone. It helps your opponent get into a little bit of a rhythm.
Clock at 6. With the floater. Here's Porzingis. Oh, a clear foul there on the missed shot. So he'll get a pair at the line. Well, Doris, you watch Kristaps Porzingis at the defensive end. He changes a lot of shots.
There is no doubt, V.A. At 7'2", it isn't just simply about sending shots back. It's about changing the trajectory. But I think, as importantly, guys don't want to go in the lane because of his presence.
Wallace. And Porzingis with the block. Shot clock and game clock separated by less than 6 seconds. Porzingis sets a screen. Pass to Pritchard. Porzingis with it. From outside the arc. Boston, no good that time either. Here's Holmgren. And that's not going to go. Misses at the buzzer. The third quarter comes to a close. It's the Celtics up 4. And it's been a very competitive game so far as we get rolling here in quarter number 4. Thunder trail by 4. High arcing shot. And Gilgeous-Alexander with the lay-in.
Boy, delicate touch on that floater by Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. That's pretty.
Porzingis sets a screen. Here's Pritchard. Porzingis sets a screen. 5 on the clock. Nice move. And such a nice move to make that bucket possible. And the Celtics lead by 4.
In crunch time, trying to get the foul, the bucket, or both.
And so they foul intentionally.
You don't want to stop the clock right there. I'm not quite sure what he was thinking.
And we've got a timeout called by Mark Daigneault. He wants to make sure they're purposeful with the game plan. Let's check in with our reporter, Allie LaForce.
Thanks, guys. Mark Daigneault had some words for his team over the last break. And Coach had a simple message for their team saying, hey, we're right there. Let's start with a stop. Knock down a couple shots and we'll be up. Sometimes the best instructions are the basic ones. B.A.?
All right, Allie, thanks once again. Tatum with it. And it's Dort picking him up. Brown with a screen. Back to Tatum. Holiday surveying the floor. And Isaiah Joe is going to pick up the foul here. That's his first foul.
Tough break for the defense. I mean, he took the hit, but he didn't get the call.
White with it. To the inside. And stolen by Williams.
Moving the ball is certainly important, but forcing passes like that is simply bad basketball.
To the middle. Here's Holmgren. The rebound, Celtics. Now here's Holiday. Inside. Oh, rise up, Jaylen Brown.
Boy, you get a real glimpse of the explosiveness of Jaylen Brown. What a big-time finish.
Pass to Holmgren. Banked it in off the glass.
It's not easy to work the ball inside in this league, but they've done it all night.
Celtics lead by 4. Holiday with the ball. Guarded now by Williams. Holmgren with the block. Gilgeous-Alexander, a good look. And some very quick points for him on that possession.
Oh, in pressure moments, he's a guy you trust to make big shots.
White on the wing. Six on the shot clock. Pass to Tatum. Williams grabs the board. So it's Oklahoma City now. 2-point game. It's Dort on the wing. Gilgeous-Alexander on the wing.
2 minutes remaining.
Down low. And we've got a timeout called by Mark Daigneault. He's looking to make some very important adjustments here. There's a minute 59 left to play in the 4th. Oh, it's blocked by Porzingis. And out of bounds. Boston will have it. And it's the Celtics ball. So far in the 4th, they've allowed just 6 points. Brown scanning the floor. On the take. Oklahoma City grabs a miss. To Holmgren. Now here's Gilgeous-Alexander. Oh, he powers right Alexander for the dunk. Draws the foul, too. And he'll go to the line. Kristaps Porzingis picks one up. And now they lead as the free throw drops in for him.
You must embrace the pressure and knock down critical free throws. Nicely done.
Holiday drives in. And Holiday powers it home.
Terrific night for Holiday so far, and I have to pin it on his energy. He's given this game all he's got.
Outside, Gilgeous-Alexander. Pass to Holmgren. Fires the three. And Porzingis with the block. And it goes out of bounds. That one off Porzingis. Oklahoma City making a switch here. A minute 6 left to the game. Shot clock at 2. Connects from downtown. And the Thunder lead by 2.
My goodness, Lou Dort in the clutch. We see you, young sir.
Talk about stepping up in a big way.
I'll tell you, it takes confidence to pull the trigger in that situation. You love guys who relish the moment.
White with a steal. Ooh, here's White on the drive. Cash.
Derek White showing you I can put it on the deck and finish off a pretty drive. Nicely done, Derek.
To the paint. And stolen by Holiday. The finish. Yes!
And that could really be the game-changing moment.
I agree. What a turn of events.
If anyone wants to know where the momentum turned, that may have been it right there.
And there's a whistle. That'll belong to Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. That's his 3rd foul of the game. Gilgeous-Alexander with a steal. And Porzingis with the block. And they're able to recover. And here's Caruso outside. And it's out of bounds to the Thunder as Oklahoma City retains possession. Seven seconds left to play in the 4th quarter of this one. Outside for Dort. Misses the 3. So it's a narrow victory for the Celtics, pulling it out for the W. And they barely squeezed out the win here on the road.
NBA, the visiting team is always under some added pressure, but they made it work and got the win, whatever the margin may have been.
And that about wraps it up. For Doris Burke, Alex.